It's day one. The fun just begun.
Here's what happens when you insult Mike Tyson. According to insiders, behind the scenes, after the press conference ended, Paul boasted, "I'm better than Muhammad Ali ever was. Ali's nothing compared to me. I'm the greatest, and I'm going to prove it by taking down Tyson." But he didn't stop there. Paul also reportedly took a shot at Tyson's legendary trainer, Cus D'Amato. He supposedly said, "My trainer is way better than Cus D'Amato ever was. Cus was overrated, just like Tyson. We've got the best game plan, and we're going to expose Tyson for the fraud he is." These comments have shocked many, considering the reverence both Ali and D'Amato hold in the boxing world. Tyson, who has always been deeply respectful of both figures, was reportedly furious upon hearing Paul's words. After his friends told him what Paul said, Tyson walked towards Paul and tried to confront him directly. Tyson arrived very close to Jake, and then Jake allegedly said, "Your glory days are over, Mike. You're just a relic of the past. You're just back in the ring because you need the money. You're a desperate old man trying to make a buck. You're smoking too much weed if you think you can beat me. Go back to smoke weed."
We're getting ready for you.
Things allegedly got seriously heated. Tyson, according to some reports, allegedly gave Paul a slap, not a full punch, but enough to make his point clear. He supposedly leaned in and said, "Remember my warning, kid. Stop the disrespect, kid." And he gave him a second slap. Then, the security promptly intervened. Tyson allegedly was shouting, "Let's see if you can back it up after I knock you out. I'm going to make you regret every word you said. Prepare the coffin, Jake. Prepare the coffin."
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident. I'm still going to be able to fight, but I broke my back.
Paul, trying to play it cool, reportedly shrugged it off, but you could tell he felt the intensity. Tyson's message was loud and clear. He's not here to play games. He's ready to show the world he's still the fiercest fighter out there.
You look great, dude. I feel great. And once it gets where I step in that ring, then it's all over. He's going to be nervous and scared.
Well, I'm hoping that you're going to Jake up. Because if anybody needs to be just spanked in public, that little does.
Well, listen, I understand that too. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it.
2.5 weeks I haven't smoked. I haven't had sex for 2.5 weeks, Tyson said on the Damon Elliott show while detailing his training. "Discipline, doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it," he told the outlet. "I hate not being able to smoke, but I'm doing it like I love it. I hate not to be able to sleep with my wife, and I'm doing it like I love it." And allegations say Tyson is ready to keep fighting after the Paul fight, if he wins. And guess what? Lennox Lewis admits he is open to the idea of returning to the ring. Lewis retired from professional boxing in 2003 after successfully retaining his lineal and WBC heavyweight titles against Vitaly Klitschko. So why would Lewis want to rewrite that perfect ending? The answer is simple: money. Like my friend says, "I ain't no fool," he told The Guardian. "I just wanted to see if I could catch you off guard. For me, money talks and everything else walks. That's my point. I'd definitely consider it." Will he be the next Tyson's opponent?
Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. Sit roll. Bang, bang, bang. Sit roll. What's the best one? What's the best one, Coach?
Mike Tyson, people talk shit to. People are there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows.
Mike Tyson, yeah, he's 57, but he got access to
everything. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation. So for a lot of people, gives them significant gains when they use it as opposed to just using weightlifting. They do this thing where they slap these electrodes on them.
Deontay Wilder, shockingly, is deeply concerned about Mike Tyson's comeback. Since the announcement, Boxing fans have been expressing their concern for the 57-year-old, and now Wilder has joined them as he thinks Iron Mike could get badly hurt. The former WBC heavyweight champion is worried that Tyson could be hospitalized with a serious injury following his fight with the 27-year-old YouTuber. I think it's bad the commission has licensed Mike Tyson because he hasn't been active in 20 years, Wilder told Sportsbook Review. They should not just license him because of who he is. That's how people get hurt. God forbid he gets hurt. People can get hit in the wrong place, and at the wrong time. There's lots of examples where guys have been hit into a coma. It's easy to do. He's too old for this. Several other boxing legends have weighed in with their predictions, and here's what some of the most respected voices in the sport have to say. Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated champion, allegedly shared his thoughts with characteristic confidence. Jake Paul knows how to market himself and generate hype, but this is Mike Tyson we're talking about. Mike's power and experience are on another level. He's been in the ring with the best and knows how to handle pressure and adversity. Jake's going to feel that difference as soon as the bell rings. Tyson's going to come out strong, and it's going to be a tough night for Jake. If I had to put money on it, I'd say Tyson wins, likely by knockout. George Foreman, a two-time heavyweight champion, reportedly gave his perspective with a hint of nostalgia. Mike Tyson is a legend, and legends don't fade away easily. He's got the power, speed, and experience that can't be underestimated. Jake Paul is brave for stepping into the ring with him, but he's out of his league here. I respect Jake's hustle and what he's done to bring attention to boxing, but when it comes to skills and real fighting spirit, Tyson's got the upper hand. I see Mike taking this fight, and it's not going to last long. Tyson's going to dominate. Ryan Garcia, who has been making waves in the boxing world with his impressive victories and charismatic personality, allegedly had a lot to say about Jake Paul. Jake Paul has really surprised a lot of people, including me. He's brought a lot of attention to the sport, and he's shown that he's serious about boxing. He's not just a YouTuber anymore. He's put in the work, and you can see that in his fights. Jake's got a great team around him, and he's training hard. He's got decent skills. He's definitely a fighter. You can't take that away from him. He's been smart about his career and knows how to sell a fight. However, Garcia allegedly couldn't help but be realistic about the upcoming bout against a legend like Mike Tyson. But let's be real here, he said. Tyson is a different animal. He's a legend for a reason. His power, his experience, they're all on another level despite his age. Jake's got heart, but he's stepping into the ring with one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Garcia continued, I think Jake will put up a fight and show his toughness. But Tyson is just too powerful and too skilled. It's going to be a huge learning experience for Jake, but I see Tyson coming out on top. Mike's got something to prove, and I think he'll remind everyone why he's a legend. Roy Jones Jr. was the last person to face off against Mike Tyson, and he gave some insight about the former heavyweight champion ahead of his bout with Jake Paul over the summer. The first time he hit me in the chest, it felt like a mule had kicked me, Jones told Shane Mosley on his YouTube show. If Tyson hits anyone with a shot like that, they're either going down or out, especially those not used to such power. Fighters like Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis are bigger and can take those hits. But Jake Paul, I don't think he'll be able to handle it. If Tyson lands a shot like that on his chin, it's going to be tough. We'll see what happens.
And if he puts me down, I can deal with that. But if I put him down, he needs to be the one making the decision on whether or not he can deal with that. But yes, I'm going in there, and now it's a pro fight. It's on my record, and I'm going to fucking put him down. And if people are pissed about it, then watch soccer. At the end of the day, it's a fight. So whatever happens, happens, as Mike Tyson said. I think he wants to put me in the dirt and to make a statement to all the boxing that he is and was and all of these things the baddest man on the planet, and that he could still get in there at this age and put down the young buck.
Do you have confidence that you can get a knockout with 14-ounce gloves?
Yeah, I know I can, and I know I will. It's always the same amount of hard work and dedication, but the differentiators will be me being able to eat
Jake Paul has vowed to prove fans wrong, who insist he can only beat Mike Tyson if their fight is rigged. YouTuber Paul will take on Tyson in Texas this summer, despite being 30 years his rival's junior. The bout will be staged over 8 two-minute rounds, with the fighters wearing bigger gloves than a standard professional fight. Paul said, "A lot of people are doubting me. A lot of people are saying, if Jake wins, then the fight is rigged because of how great Mike looks." By vowing to prove the doubters wrong, Paul is embracing the skepticism and using it as fuel to drive his preparation. The fight's format, with 8 two-minute rounds and larger gloves, adds an interesting twist that could level the playing field slightly.
I'm gonna make Mike my girlfriend.
I'm gonna make sure you kiss me good with those big lips.
I'm just so glad to have the honor to step in the ring with one of the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champions there's ever been. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable. You're no good for boxing! My boy, increasing fighter pay, putting women's fighting on a pedestal. Look what I've done for this sport.
Have a nice fight, Jake.
Oh man, have you seen the latest clips of Jake Paul mocking Mike Tyson? It's all over social media right now and people are losing their minds over it. Paul's really stirring the pot and adding fuel to the fire of this whole situation. In these new videos, Paul is straight up imitating Tyson's voice, mannerisms, and even his famous lisp. He's got the whole thing down pat. Wild situation going on lately between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. So word on the street is that Jake's been talking trash, crossing the line saying, Tyson's just an old man looking for one last payday before he rides off into the sunset. That's a pretty bold accusation to make about someone like Tyson, don't you think? Now, if these rumors are true, you can bet your bottom dollar that Tyson is seething with rage right about now. I mean, put yourself in his shoes. You've dedicated your entire life to this sport, achieved things most people can only dream of, and then some kid who's barely been in the game for a few years starts questioning your integrity. That's got to be infuriating. But here's the thing. Tyson is a man who's seen and done it all. He's been through his fair share of controversies and comebacks, both in his personal life and his professional career. I think he's going to channel that anger into his training. He's going to use it as fuel to push himself harder, to sharpen his skills, and to remind everyone why he's still a force to be reckoned with in the boxing world. And apparently there are these wild rumors circulating about Tyson being absolutely furious about a potential fight cancellation. People are saying he's been training like a madman and is ready to unleash his rage on whoever's responsible for this mess. Meanwhile, Tyson's been really dedicated to his nutrition lately. He's cutting out all the junk and focusing on lean proteins and vegetables. That's the kind of discipline that made him a champion in the first place. When Tyson sets his mind to something, he goes all in, and I bet he's been pushing himself to the limit in training. Boxing legends are trashing Jake Paul. You know the YouTuber who's been trying to make a name for himself in the boxing world? Well, apparently Alexander Usyk had some choice words for him before this Mike Tyson fight drama started. Usyk is a beast in the ring, and he's not one to mince words. He straight up told Jake Paul to stop boxing. Ouch, that's gotta sting. I mean, I get where Usyk is coming from. Jake Paul has been calling out all these big names in boxing, but he's still relatively new to the sport. It takes years of dedication and hard work to reach the level of guys like Tyson and Usyk. Maybe Jake should focus on honing his skills before he starts challenging the big dogs. And if the rumors are true about these heated WhatsApp messages between Tyson and Jake Paul after their press conference, oh boy, Tyson's not one to back down from a challenge. And if he feels disrespected, he's going to let you know about it. But before we get to that, I need your help. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. So I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the one.
You want the glory.
I was born for this. I was just born for this. I think I'm Alexander the Great in another life.
He was a bad dude.
Well, he was smart. He was smart and clever. That's what made him bad, because he wasn't a big guy, he was a little guy, and but he was a leader. He made people follow him, to their death, and that's a leader.
And with all this extra motivation from the supposed fight cancellation and his strict diet, I pity the fool who has to step into the ring with him. Tommy Fury just went off on Jake Paul in a new epic rant, and he didn't hold back at all. It all started with the whole Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson situation. and it seems like Tommy has some strong opinions on the matter. In his angry tirade, Tommy basically called out Jake Paul for his lack of respect towards boxing legends. He was like, "You need to have respect. I'm young like you, but I have respect for legends you haven't." Tommy's clearly not impressed with Jake's attitude and the way he's been challenging all these big names in the sport. But that's not all. Tommy also threw some serious shade at Jake by bringing up their own fight. He proudly declared, "I'm glad I destroyed you in the ring." Damn, that's a serious burn right there. It's like Tommy's saying, "You talk a big game, but when it comes down to it, I showed you who's boss in the ring." It's clear that Tommy feels pretty strongly about the whole situation. He seems to believe that Jake Paul hasn't earned the right to challenge legends like Mike Tyson. In Tommy's eyes, Jake hasn't paid his dues and doesn't have the respect for the sport that he should. This rant from Tommy Fury just adds fuel to the already blazing fire of boxing drama. But let's be real, Tommy does have a point. Boxing is a sport with a rich history and a lot of respected figures. It's not just about trash talk and social media hype. If you want to be taken seriously in this world, you need to show respect for those who came before you and paved the way. But maybe Tommy's rant will serve as a wake-up call for him to approach things a bit differently and show more respect for the legends of the sport. The fight is really starting to gain some traction, and even Dana White is weighing in on the situation. It's interesting to hear that White, who's usually not a fan of older fighters stepping back into the ring, has had a bit of a change of heart after talking to Tyson's wife, Lakeha Kiki Spicer, in her podcast. According to White, Kiki reassured him that Mike is taking this fight seriously and is putting in the work to prepare for it. That's got to be a relief for fans who might have been worried about Tyson's age and the potential risks involved in taking on a younger, hungrier opponent like Jake Paul. It's clear that White has a lot of respect for Tyson, both as a fighter and as a person. He acknowledges that Tyson is a unique figure in the sports world, someone who has managed to transcend boxing and make a name for himself outside of the ring. At the same time, White's comments about Tyson getting offers he can't refuse raise some interesting questions. Just how much money are we talking about here? And is it enough to justify the potential risks involved in stepping back into the ring at 58 years old? Those are tough questions to answer, but it's clear that Tyson is still a huge draw and that there's a lot of interest in seeing him fight again.
Look at this.
Right.
You needed volume so you can hear this too.
Whoa.
I mean, what in the fuck, dude?
Oh my God.
Dude, he looks like... Oh. I'm back.
I'm back.
You know what's really funny?
Oh my God.
He said on the podcast when he was in here, he said he didn't want to work out again because his ego would get fired up again.
Uh-huh.
And he's actually said that in his post, that my ego had been reignited.
As for Jake Paul, well, he seems to be taking a bit of a different approach to the fight. Sharing footage of his first day of training and mocking Tyson in the process might be a way to generate some buzz and get under Tyson's skin, but it could also backfire if Tyson uses it as motivation to really bring his A-game on fight night. Now, a doctor came out and warned about the potential risk of brain damage for Tyson, considering his age and the fact that he hasn't fought professionally since 2005. But Tyson's trainer, Rafael Cordero, is having none of it. He's completely confident in Tyson's abilities and fitness to take on this challenge.
Something unbelievable to see, to be honest with you. A heavyweight guy, moving like a lightweight.
Rafael keeps emphasizing Tyson's experience and natural talent, saying that he's a two-time world champion who knows exactly what to do when he steps into the ring. He even goes as far as saying that Tyson will enter the fight with the same intensity and determination he had in his prime, looking to knock Jake out from the very beginning. But here's the thing. Tyson might have shown off some impressive skills in his last exhibition fight against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. But facing a young, athletic guy like Jake Paul could pose some new challenges. I mean, can Tyson still take a punch like he used to? That's the big question on everyone's mind. People have been really divided on this whole thing. Some fans think Tyson's training footage looks a bit shaky, and they're worried he might be in for a tough night. Others, though, are just in awe of his raw power and think that alone justifies sanctioning the fight. Let's not forget, Tyson's career has been nothing short of legendary. The guy became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old back in 1986. But if he gets knocked out by Jake Paul, it could put a serious dent in his boxing legacy. even with the massive $20 million paycheck he's reportedly getting.
You know, like Mike Tyson's mind has switched over into war. Like he was doing this interview and someone said to him, he goes, you look like you're in your 20s. Like, what are you doing? He goes, I just eat raw meat. He's like, eating raw meat. He goes, you're eating raw meat? He goes, yeah, I'm eating raw meat. He goes, because that's what I'm going to eat when I fight. I'm going to eat him. It's raw meat.
Yeah, see,
I was like, Jesus Christ. He's in this fucking mode. He's in that God of War mode. And that he's still got that in him. And I'm telling you, if you keep giving that guy hormones and you keep giving that guy supplements and he's constantly training, here it is. Look at this.
What are you eating? Raw meat. Seriously, Mike. You're eating raw meat? Are you swallowing it? Or remember you used to spit that stuff out?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat it now because my opponent's gonna be raw meat.
That's right. Did you look like 20 years old?
Now, I saw the beginning of this interview where he had a shirt on, right?
Yeah.
And he was sweating so much he had to take the...
He took his shirt off, and they just put the microphone on his shoulder. Yeah. Bro, he's in savage mode right now. He's in savage mode. If I was Jake Paul right now, I would be shitting my pants.
Oh, bro, if I'm fighting this guy and I see he's eating raw meat, I call the thing off.
I mentioned many details of this saga, but there's something else very huge that is happening in the wait for this fight. So check out this deep dive where I'll tell you other rumors that are buzzing in the boxing community. You will learn new shocking claims that are attracting people's attention. Click on the screen to watch the deep dive, and thanks for watching this video.